Welcome to Know the Truth. Today we will analyze the speech given by S. Jaishankar in the second G20 Foreign Ministers Meeting of the 79th United Nations General Assembly in New York, and this was under the presidency of Brazil. So in this speech, Mr. S. Jaishankar, he presented India's view on the key areas of global governance reform. Now, whenever Mr. Jaishankar speaks, it is an honor to listen to him. The way he speaks and presents his idea, they are very clear, to the point. So, let's see what he talked about. As I told you, he discussed about the three key areas of global governance reform, wherein he talked about reforms of the UN and its subsidiary bodies, reforms of the international financial structure, and then reforms of the multilateral trading system. Now, all these three key areas are very, very important to create a better future for all the people living on this planet Earth, no matter they belong to any of the country. So, if we talk about reform of the UN and its subsidiary bodies, we can see that world has evolved into a smart, interconnected and multipolar world. अगर हम UN की मीटिंग्स को एनालाइज करें तो जो पहली मीटिंग UN की हुई थी that was in January, London, and it was in 1946 wherein 51 nations they attended the meeting. If you talk about current scenario, the membership has increased fourfold. Around 193 members are now members of UN. But UN का जो working pattern है अभी भी पुराना है. So there needs to be some solid changes here. So this was rightly said by S. Jaishankar that the current UN, it is still prisoner of past. So it has to come out of the past and think about bringing some changes here. So reform in United Nations Security Council membership is very, very important. If you talk about Security Council, the members are divided in two categories, that is permanent members and non-permanent members. तो अगर हम permanent member को देखें तो there are 5 members which is US, then Russia, Britain, France and China. The non-permanent member, they are 10 members and the membership was for 2 years. So अगर हम देखें तो we need to increase the member of permanent seats in United Security Council and more countries should be given representation here. And even a non-permanent member also from 10 it has to be increased. And more nations should be given presentation here so that they have their say in decision making on important matters going on around the world. And the global south, especially African countries, then South American countries, they deserve legitimate voice and representation in these organizations. If we come to the second key area, that is reform of the international financial structure throughout the world. Now again, Bretton Woods institutions, they were established long back after the Second World War. A meeting was conducted at Bretton Woods wherein the conceptualization of two organizations was done, that is World Bank and International Monetary Fund. So we need to focus on development challenges and climate change in these organizations. Then if you talk about MDB, that is the Multilateral Development Banks and Orthodox Global Finance System, they both are unable to handle the current challenges. If we talk about SDG, that is Sustainable Development Goals, they are suffering from the lack of financing and investment. There's a lot of gap in this. So we need to refine the vision of MDB. We need to fulfill the lack of financing for sustainable development goals. So there is a dire need of reform on the, we can say, of the international financial structure. Then the third key area was about reform of the multilateral trading system. So the trading system throughout the world is obviously rule-based, but these rules have to be fair, open, inclusive and equitable for all the nations. So we'll not talk about controversial points here. We'll only focus on the key areas which were emphasized by our External Affairs Minister. So the global trading system, it has to be transparent. We need transparent multilateral trading system with the WTO, obviously World Trade Organization at its core. And the policies made by WTO, they have to foster trade and investment in such a way that every country could prosper. They have access to the market throughout the world, okay? And we have to create a level playing field wherein the smaller countries also have chances on equality basis. So WTO needs comprehensive reforms and constructive discussions are to be held for effective dispute settlement system. It should not be done on the basis of politics or grouping. Okay, the world nations have to come up with some creative criticism, constructive criticism, and resolve the disputes, pressing disputes in a creative way. So these were some of the 3 key areas of global governance reform presented by our External Affairs Minister in the G20 meeting, and no doubt he emphasized that real changes needs to be happen and happen fast. We can't delay this. And then whatever is being done, it is being done for a better, bigger and more effective MDBs, that is multilateral development banks. And reformed and fair multilateral trading system has to be ensured. United Nations organization is a sort of world parliament. So unfair practices, impartiality, creativity should reflect in its decisions. The ultimate goal of UN is to create a better world, to create a better future to every individual living on this planet Earth. And it is not only about human beings, it's about animals, the other creatures, it's about nature, it's about climate, everything. So the UN has to think on these lines and bring these reforms as soon as possible. This is all for today. Thank you very much.